again, Echo here. Welcome to Utopia³. I am on the server on my own at the minute. It's Thursday morning, I think. We are on a new version, so quite a few things have changed, which I just want to talk through a bit. Now, thank you very much for the comments after the last episode. I'd not quite finished setting this up correctly. Ah, that's the old one. Okay, let's get rid of that crafting recipe and update it for the new one. They all need updating as well. So we are on a newer version of thermal expansion, one that needs all the ducts redoing, and clearly from that as well it needs the recipes redoing. Ducts. See in there. So no, that one. That one didn't have a recipe in the first place. So let me just sort this out while I remember. Go through to the thermal expansion page, and that. Oh, that's changed as well, has it? So all these things, the recipes have changed. That's nice to see the way the red on there, because they're not a valid crafting recipe. Very good. So what is that? That's in code. So is this going to make these better just by putting them in? I don't think it is it? Let's have a look. No, it's still bad. Okay, I'll do that in a bit, but I'll keep them in the inventory so I remember. So last time what I didn't do was, of course, I didn't push these in, so that wasn't going to work. As you can see, these are running at the minute. The new version of Whaler, up at the top left there, you can see that we've actually got liquid info. So we can actually see mob essence going into the drum there. Fuel's not going at the minute because I just need to reconnect that over there in a second. So yeah, I've not connected that. A couple of things have changed since the in the update. One thing is these now have an input. Before they only had an output condition on the thing, so I had to actually turn that, otherwise the regulator wasn't putting anything into them. So that's now sorted. The other issue I've got is level limiters don't seem to be working properly. Now look at this level. I bet it's going to work properly now. I want to do it on camera, but if I just attach a level limiter onto there and then wrench it round to the right direction, there we go. Something that I've not got very many of. I've only got one of them in my system. Well, none of them in my system, so it's not lit up. This isn't gonna. I'm sure this is gonna fool me now. This was not working last night. Okay, it might be working now. This is why I didn't do a video last night. I wanted to do this video last night. That's why it's lit up as well. If you were watching when this video first comes out, but I was just really tired and I couldn't seem to get anything to work. So that seemed to be working. And last night they just seemed to be lagging about 5-10 minutes. So I took the level control off these. If you remember, I don't actually know if I'd put that in, but I had a level emitter control onto the putting down of the empty drum or the full drum. No, on the empty drums. So that'd stop when it had 20 drum in the system. So anyway, this side I've connected all new liquid ducts up, and I decided to cover that with my favourite dark glass. It's like a server room or something, isn't it? So that's a sealed area now. I have to break the glass to get in if I want to go in. But as you can see, this is just a massive amount of engines. Now when these turn on, I've been looking, and although these conduits can output 2048, it seems to me that these can only input 100 per connection. It seems to me anyway. So even though the capacitors say that it's got a 900 max input, it doesn't seem to be putting 900 in. It seems to be putting 400 in. But, I'll have to keep my eye on that. Now I've got another issue. Check this out. My elevators aren't working. The reason they aren't working is because I haven't got any XP. Elevators now take XP, which I'm not very happy with, because it's a bit silly, I think, making them have XP. But I shall be switching all these out for Railcraft. I think I'm going to use Railcraft that I haven't been using for a while. I am going to use Railcraft for that. Now I've just rebuilt all this because things were not correct. I can't turn it off at the minute because, as you can see, I've got normal dirt in there. That's just changing all again. But oh, a wolf ate the sheep. Poor sheep. This isn't working either. See that little bit of XP there? That keeps dropping there, but nothing else is going in here. So something's changed with these as well. Yeah, this thing, the wireless redstone was just every time the server reset stopped working. So what I've still got a button there, and I've got a toggle latch there still. So a button and a toggle latch is basically a lever. I could just have a lever there and not need a toggle latch, but I just like having buttons. And then I've put some of this crushed obsidian so I don't have to light this up very well. And then I've just run the cable along the floor there. What I had to do with drawbridges, we had to replace all the drawbridges because they've updated as well from part of Tinker's Construct into what I believe is called Tinker's Mechworks. So they just needed picking up and replacing, so I've done all them. Replaced all them. Same with this side. I had to replace these ones for getting in and out of there. Move them buttons up there. And Nemson kindly spawned me in 4 of the 5 mobs I was missing. So I managed to get a mushroom trophy. I've got ocelots in there at the minute. Something's weird with them, I'll show you in a minute. A silverfish. Horrible things. A villager and a wolf. So he spawned me one in one each of them using spawn eggs, and I captured one each of them using safari nets. I think I've got a few spare in there. So I captured one each in the safari nets, so I've now got every type of animal and every type of creature that drops a trophy apart from an iron golem, because that doesn't seem to work. But if you see, if we turn this on, we've got a little issue. The fact that, now I know people don't like seeing dogs get killed, but this is for science. And you see, plenty of dogs have died in the making of this program. You gonna work? So I'm only doing this to get a trophy, and they're not real dogs. So even though it sounds horrible. So what seems to be happening is, you see the XP balls? Now the grinder should be collecting mob essence, and it is, but it looks like the dogs are also dropping XP balls as well as mob essence. So the ocelots do the same. So these two, I've got ocelots in that one. These two just get totally full of XP balls, get real laggy. So I've got to keep my eye on that. I can show you now anyway. Check out how much XP this elevator uses. Full level. That's what a full level. Silly if you ask me. Silly choice there by Mikey Moo. But it's his mod, he can do what he wants with it. I just want to use elevators. Right, I need to connect this because we've got no fuel going in. So let's get some liquid ducts. Now the other thing we need to do with liquid ducts and item ducts is we need servos. So without a servo you cannot automatically output. So that's a bonus though, because with a servo, see these before underneath I was using transfer nodes from extra utilities, because each time you broke the drum it reset the setting on the liquid duct. Fluid duct. And now that you have to put a servo in, they actually keep the setting, so when you break the drum it doesn't make a difference. So what I need to do here is I need one of them like so. Then I can wrench that to output, but it's still not going to be outputting because it needs this guy. So just click one of them onto there. Now a servo is being fitted. Now if we right click it with empty hand, we've got redstone control. So I can do that, and now that's going to start outputting, which is good. So that's all good. And then I'm just draining these oil drums down. I don't know why I bothered making oil drums, I didn't need them. So rather than using the oil from the oil age at the minute, I'm just draining these drums down. So that's kind of semi-manual. I'll put that in, wrench that to output mode, go in there, change that to low, and that'll start draining that into there. Wonderful. So you should see we have got fuel coming in here now, or have we? We don't seem to have fuel coming in. Why not? Right, give me a minute, I'm just going to check this out. Work out what's wrong, back in a sec. Okay, back, that was nice and easy. You can see fuel's going in there now, which is good. And the issue is, of course, the actual P2P thing here automatically outputs. So I had that on powered output, like so, which is no good. That actually wants to be on just like that, because that automatically outputs. So that then puts fuel into there and puts fuel up top. Wonderful. So that's all sorted. I think I'm up to date. The only other thing I've done different is I've made this link now. I had been having issues. Part of why I've gone back to, I've got Ender.io redstone conduit down the middle with the fuel lines, with the power lines. Oops. Come back up here. So as you can see, I've gone back to Ender.io redstone conduit. Now the reason why I've done that is every time I logged off, this was working fine. When I logged back on, the redstone signal out the back of here into the red alloy wire was always on, even when this was full, so it was just burning for energy when it didn't need to. So I've changed it back to that. That's why I've not got red alloy wire running at the back, so it's let me cover that. Because of that though, I came in a few times to a fully drained system. So what I've done is I made some of these guys, these energy cells, and all I've done under here is, if we look in my controller here, you see it's just got 2000 MJ, because they're not connected at the minute. What I've made is what's called a dark cable. That guy there is an ME dark cable. You see, look at that, it's dark, it's blackened out a bit. If I turn this lever on, that lever becomes active, and now if we look, rather than having 2000 MJ in the controller, it's got 402 kilo MJs. So 402,000 rather than 2,000. So I've got loads of power in there, should I need it. I'm actually thinking of moving the controller over there and having it so I can switch the controller off when I log off, when I've not got quarries running and stuff. But I don't know about that yet, I've not quite decided. There we go. So that's about it with the update. I think I've got everything sorted. The one thing with the update is it's sunny again, no more snow. So what I can do now is I can start bringing my bees across. My bees are going to go up on this next level up here. So this is going to be a bee level up here. So I'm going to start sorting that out. And I'm going to go do a bit of work on that, get them over here at least. And then I want to see if that mutation works like it should do. And it looks like it wasn't before. So I don't think we've updated Binny's mods, but I'm going to see if I want to see what kind of mutation I get trying to upgrade that bee to the next level towards the fuel bee. So I shall be back in a bit. Okay, then here we are back again, and I unfortunately have come across a bit of a issue with doing anything with bees, and that is if I touch anything Binny related, I get kicked off the server. So that's a bit unfortunate. So that's using anything on blocks. So I can't really do any breeding because I'd need to put things into the mutator block. Suppose I could really, if I wanted to, use hoppers. That goes the same for all the Binny machines as well, so I can't actually use any of the genetic machines. Touching any of them kicks me, so that's that is an issue. Yeah, what's that doing? Nearly empty. Right, the mob farm is working very nicely. That guy's filling up. Yo, ego. And downstairs, now I've pulled all my elevators out. I'm going to move on to something different, which I'm going to get on with in just a minute. But I'm going to show you what I've done with the elevators at the tower side of the base first. Now, I turned this off, and what happened was all of the care safe, apart from the middle stripes, stayed where it was. So it looks like the drawbridges will only take back what they put in. So I'm just waiting for all that to turn into care stairs. See, there's a couple of, you maybe can't see on YouTube, but there's 1, 2, 3 or 4 dirt blocks left. Look at this. Where'd you spawn? My base isn't quite secure, is it? Look. Oh, there's only that bit. Okay, that's fine. F7 back off. So let's head up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Railcraft. I'm going to make a nice little train system. So I'm going to get on with that in a minute. What I need to do for that is, first up is fall back down there like a chump. First off is get my rolling machine set up, get loads of track made, standard rail, stuff like that, which is rolling machine. I'll probably use steel, get 16 for steel. So I'll make a load of them with steel, I'll make the advanced tracks, stuff like that. I'll get a lot of that made, I'll get loads of creosote made for the wooden binding bits in the middle. Well, I've got loads of creosote, I mean. I'll get loads of that made. So I'm going to cut again in a minute to start sorting some of that out. Now what I've done at the tower is actually pretty nifty. There's, you can see it in action there. There's a new block we've got from, found it Tinkerer. Just break it. This is the guy called the Ethereal Platform. It won't show me the recipe there because it's a Farmcraft thing. But if you look at it, you fall through it if you press shift. So you can walk on top of it normal, but if you press shift you fall through it. Now what I've got under here is 3 arcane elevators. You don't actually walk onto it though if you're shifting, which is a bit awkward. So I'm getting stuck on the edge there, so I actually need to get on it, then press shift. And I'll drop down. If you press shift above a arcane elevator, then you drop down. So I can go up through them. Whee! And I can drop down through them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little thing next episode probably from the Ars Magic update. We've got this thing here called a Seer Stone. What you can do with a Seer Stone, you can update, you can put in a player focus and it'll detect when a player is near. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it so this only gets turned on if a player goes near it. It'll turn on for like 10 seconds. So turning this on will shoot you up and then it'll go off. And then if you want to get down, you stand on top of any one of these ethereal platforms. I've just been messing around. That one looks a bit too much, I think, when you've looks a bit much when you've got it totally disguised with the floor. So I was just using a glass block to make them look a bit different. Now you make them really straightforwardly. If we look in our thing here, it's linked off the arcane levitator. It's just 2 great wood planks and a silver wood plank, and that's just great wood or silver wood logs put in. Put into the, what do you call it? So where have I put them? A lot of great wood planks. Oh, I know where they are. Let's grab some of these silver wood planks. I had a load of them as well. I wonder what I've done with them. I had a load more of them. I had 64, I think. So this is just the stuff for the arcane levitators that I've been making. So let's drag all them out, and really easy, just like that. You get you this lovely ethereal platform. You get 2 for 3 planks. Very nice and cheap. So let's take all that out for now and dump all this ass stuff, all this magic stuff into there. Let's go do it. So, oops, I wanted them. There we go. So what I can do is I can put one there. Now I could stand on top of that, but I don't want to. What I can do is I can just click that with any block and it'll disguise it to that block. So there we go. Got a nice little disguised way up. And same with that, I say it just makes it a little bit hard to see if you do it like that, but people come into my base now at the minute, they're going to get shot offwards, so that's why I want to put that bit of control down the bottom. Now I could easily do that with a pressure plate, but I fancy using this Seer Stone just because I've not used it before. So that's probably next episode. And there's these things, sigil stands. I'll just quickly show you the Seer Stone. The Seer Stone's really easy. I have Endestone and Redstone. And there's these sigil stands that I'm going to be playing with pretty soon as well. These are new. They're just pretty easy to make, and there's all the sigils that you can make from. So that's something I'll be looking at within the next episode or 2. I got loads of sunstone at some point, by the way. I did it off camera. I got a lot of sunstone. Just I was messing around in the nether. I wanted to see if it was easy to get it with 1 of equal trade, and the answer is yes. It is very easy to get it with a 1 of equal trade. So yeah, I did a little bit more research. We've got down at Tinkerer Cami now, but to get Cami you need to research everything else. And the issue I've got with that is we've got this thing called Farmcraft Extras, which is a hell of a lot to it, and not a lot that I think I'm ever going to use. So I'm actually going to see if anyone on the server is actually using anything from that, and see. I'll put a thread on our forums, see what people's thoughts are on it, because I know I don't use much of it, and I'm one of the most Thaumcraft users on the server. Right, I am going to go place my rolling machine. Oops, gone too far. I'm going to knock all this place down and rebuild it pretty soon as well, by the way, when I get time. I'm also going to use one of them seer stones under there as well, so you have to stand on the pressure plate. If you go near this door, it'll open. I'm going to set it up for that. So, yeah, I'm going to go place my rolling machine. I'm going to get cracking with making all the components I need to make a nice little rail system to get up and down there. And even across through the base, I think. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and I was waiting for the rain to go, but it looks like it's not going to stop. We've got rid of the snow, but the rain's all the time still, so I don't know if it's something else that's causing that. This is actually putting in its full power, so that's all good. So what I said earlier I wasn't really sure about, but I have moved these, and it just drained down because I forgot to turn that back on. And I forgot to take that. If we look in there, you can see it's getting in 1,152 mg a tick. That's what my engine bank's there putting. I think I put a little iron frame on there, looks a bit better, I think. So, and I moved this back a bit, so that's all good. I moved the refinery from over here. Now I've moved it over here, and I thought it's that close to the fuel in. I thought I might as well just connect it underneath. So I've connected it underneath. One of the things with the new thermal expansion version we've got is you can use covers on thermal expansion ducts. So that's what's rocking there, which is very nice. So jump down here and show you. So as you can see, there's the ducts just going into there. This is what I mean about. Oh yeah, it's working properly now. This is confusing me so much. So that redstone should come on when there's 20 essence drums in the ME network. When I set them, that was opposite. It's just taking a while to update. It's weird. I've also messed around with a couple of other things that I should mention. One thing I have done, I can't seem to get up there very well today, have I? Which I don't think I've changed it. Oh, I know what I've changed. Have I? Let's fasten that on that side instead. It's probably that I've changed. Yeah, I think it is. So if I go down now. That's better there, that's what I've done. So I moved these back, connected it up to there, and that needs moving still. And if I go back down here again, what I've done is I've moved my ender chests all right underneath the Mac, and they're all connected to this one ME interface. Now this ME interface has got import and export stuff. So this ender chest is my stuff in. So that'll go straight through there. And because this is moving stacks, that'll keep up with just 4 free slots. Now if I get to have 8 more things exporting, then 4 more things exporting, I'm going to have to get another one of them. But for the time being, everything we want to throw in the network can go in there easy enough. This one is the things that go to the Thaumcraft jetpack charging thing. This one is the auto crafting of the frames for the bees. And then this one is the ender chest, the triple white ender chest, that shared stuff. So what I've got here is I've got exported into that on a regulator is ink sacs and gas tiers. So if you take ink sacs out, they'll get replaced. Same with gas tiers, they'll get replaced. What I've also got, I've got an input of wood from the wood farm at spawn. I've currently got about 4,000 wood in my system, but if I get down below 64, that'll take wood out of here and keep me at least 64 wood in my network. So there's my little ender chest set up, and what else have I done? I think that's all pretty much done down there. So I've got, we're starting to do some of the railcraft stuff. Oh, this, I've got carried away with these things as well. Look, these are them ethereal platforms, and so is this glass, and so is that glass. So I can go through there as well. This is all sorted now, so that's all fine. I can turn that on and off. That was slow, wasn't it? How strange. So I can turn that on and off fine. Oh. What the fuck happened there? Well, that one right, was it? Interesting. So that was not in fact fan after all. I'll have to sort that out later then. Son of a bitch. It was work. I've turned it on and off about 8 times since you last saw me, and it's been working fine. So if we head it back up here, I've probably done miles too much here, but we've got an Age of Steam coming. Is one of the next updates to our pack. So first thing I've done here is I have made a ton of these. I've used like a stack of steel. Rest of that can go back in there. I'll break that rolling machine for now. So I've. Oh no, I'm going to need that. What am I doing, idiot? Well, that's the other thing I've done. I moved the controller is over here now, and the dark cable is underneath that. That's a facade, so I can just do that, and it'll turn my network off. So you see, this is pulling 1.4 MJs when it's just that on its own. When I turn this on, it rocks up to like 36, 37. So when I log off, if I've got nothing automated going, I can just turn that off, and it'll turn the network off, which is pretty smart. I like that. I'll leave it turned on for now. That's going to be losing power, never mind. And this is how I'm getting the wooden ties. I thought I'd make a lot of wooden ties. So I've got this liquid crafter. I'm feeding creosote oil into it from this barrel. And then all you do is you put 3 oak slabs there, get a bucket, put creosote in a bucket, show it there, and then it'll just craft these with a redstone signal. So what I've got is the clock from the smeltery. You know that redstone clock there? So that's just making me a load of wooden ties. There's not many of these I'm going to need, but like I say, we're doing an Age of Steam, so anything that I've got spare, I'm just going to chuck into the. I'll chuck into the Steam thing, into a chest in the Steam Age when we get it. So that's how you make your wooden ties, like so. So I've got a little shopping list here. What I need to start off with is 4 dispensers, a couple of play detectors. So let's get on with them. Oops, press the wrong button. So. Right then, let's start with them things. We need 2 of these guys. Two of them, and then dispensers. What do dispensers look like? Down here somewhere. Cart dispenser. There we go. So I'm after cart dispenser. So I need dispensers, and then it's loads of droppers that I made before, wasn't it? So I need to make. Right, I've got an issue here. That is probably set to destroy bows. It is. So I'm going to make these. I'll tell you what. I'll get some more bits made, but we're onto the real craft stuff now. So I should be back in a minute when I've got a lot of this stuff made, and we'll start putting things together. Okay then, back I am, and it's actually several hours later. We've had a bit of a server down, amongst other things. I ain't done them. Not sorted them out yet, have I? Server down amongst other things. Something to do with IC2, we think. And I'm not sure how far I got, but I've created all these things. Now I've actually used some. I've had to build this one just to make sure I could get it working right. But what we've got here is we've got these elevator tracks. You can see I can actually use them as ladders. And if we come all the way down here, Nicholas has just told me that he's going to change the config of the elevator blocks. Oh, what's going on there? The elevator blocks back to all the way next time he updates, so I didn't need to do this after all, but never mind, I've done it now. So this is the bottom end of my little setup, and I'm going to repeat this up at the top. I've not covered it up yet, but I'm going to put some nice clear covers on there to cover that up. But basically this ain't going to go anywhere at the minute because the elevator track's not powered. But I've got a booster track, I've got a detector there, I've got a detector there. This detector triggers the dispenser and pulls the cart into it. We've got translocators that pull the carts into the ender chest. I've got some spare bits in there as well. We've got a regulated translocator there that puts one cart into this cart dispenser. Under there we've got a boarding track and a play detector, so that detects when I get in it. And then this is a redstone pulse when it goes over, which goes there and puts the next cart out. So we won't get very far here. We'll get there, we'll bounce back. So that just chucks us back, and it shouldn't have gone that way. It should have gone the other way. Anyway, there we go. That is going the wrong way. It's going the right way now. Look. So that redstone pulse is actually triggering that as well, isn't it? Don't want that to happen. So I've maybe found a little bug in my little system there. This thing is called a wire track, WYE, wire track, and with a redstone signal that'd send the cart. See now with no redstone signal, it's sending it this way. So it sends it down here and the cart disappears and kicks you out. With a redstone signal, it'd send the cart that way. So when this was getting crossed over here, was actually changing the orientation of that because of how this is. So I might have to put a cover down there as well. Anyway, let's go back up the top. I'll build the top half on camera, and this might all get pulled out again when if and when we sort elevators out. But oh shit, oh god, we can't walk up a ladder. What's wrong with me? There we go. Hooray, I am up. So up here, what we're going to do is similar, but a bit push for space. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here. So what we've got over here is we're going to go 2 cart dispensers. In front of the one on the left, we're going to put our play detector. On top of that, we're going to put our boarding track. Cool. And now we want a detector track. Now, if you put the detector track right there, it's too close. You need to have at least one gap between the detector track and the boarding track, because otherwise it keeps firing the boarding track again. So, and we also want a detector track there. Put the cart back in there, and then it's return leg. And now we want to get some normal track. And so there, I'm going to come out to there. I'll come around here. I'm going to go to the top of the. I should have refueled my jetpack before I started recording. My bad. Let's get up here. Up we got. Right up. So I've got all in there. Now I'm going to place the Y track. And I put all these ones down first just to help it place a bit easier. So you can see this one, again, is pushing it that way. So now what we need is, now we need to put a redstone signal onto this. And we want it so that we can turn the redstone signal off. Now the redstone signal has to be from the top. If you put it at the bottom, it only goes a couple of blocks up. So you want it near the top. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the same as what we have on the other side there. With, where are they? Oh, in fact, let's do this bit first. That's what I'm missing. It's over here. Grab that guy. So these tracks are all pretty straightforward. Once you've got your rails made in your rolling machine, you need to make some of these advanced rails, and then most of them take advanced rails. So there's your boosters, and boarding tracks are very similar, and the Y track's very easy, just wooden rail bed and some rails. Elevator tracks, again similar again. So that's all good stuff. On the server at the minute is Nicholas and Andy Stars, who records as That Crazy Gamer. I hope I got that one right. TGC. Oh, that is Andy Stars. I get confused. I always get confused with people who don't have the actual in-game name as a channel name. So I need some. Where are they gone? Just to throw them back into my network. I have misplaced my translocators. There they are. There's one there, and I'm going to need a diamond nugget as well. I'll have one of them. So on the back of here, this could be a bit tardy, to be honest. I'd actually like to do these underneath, but it gets in the way of the redstone signal. So oops, and there, right again there. This one is our regulator, so that goes onto there, the diamond nugget, and we want one of these minecarts just to prime that. There we go. And we'll actually put the minecart on the boarding track there, ready for when we want to use it, and then turn that one on. Turn that one on, sort of put another minecart in there, so that's got one minecart sat in there all the time. And now I want these guys. So I want redstone signal there, wire there, and I want one there. Nice bit of thunder there. I'm going to join them up with these guys. So you see that's connecting to that block, and that block is not connecting to this because that can get in the way a bit if you connect to that. And now I'm going to drop down underneath, and I'm actually going to connect to here, which will fire that Y track as well, even if it wasn't connected. And I am going to put my toggle latch down here. So I made a toggle latch, and that wants to be turned the other way. So that's the input from the side. I'll grab my screwdriver and turn that. So now the input from the side, so when that pulses, it'll switch this from redstone on to redstone off, and we are going to go out from there and onto there. So that's powered now, you see. But if that's powered, when we come off here, it's going to unpower it, yeah? So if I jumped in there, it'd flick the redstone, I'd turn that off, but it'd keep it turned off. We need it to turn back on. So the next part is I'd add a little loop timer here. So what I want here is, I want another bit of wire there, and then I want my timer that I've made to go there, and we need to turn that like so. So that's stopped on that. Now I'm going to set that to 10 seconds. I think 10 seconds was enough. And now that's on. When that gets triggered, it flicks this off, which also lets the timer go around, you see. So look, that's powered off. Timer goes round. When the timer gets round, it flicks this back on. Eventually, there we go. And it puts the power back on so we can come back up. So now let's ride up and down in our little elevator mess about thing, which it'll probably all get pulled out when we get elevators back. So if I jump in there, it kicks me off, puts a new cart there. It's turned the elevator off, so we come down, and then it's spat me out and it swallowed the cart, and you see the power's come back on, so now we can go straight back up. This won't take us up because it's got power. It's pretty quick, to be honest. Quite happy with the speed of it. So that'll bring us round and I'll swallow the cart away. Yay! So all I need to do now is get some covers. So I want covers. Tidy this bit up a bit so you can't see the gubbins. Like so. And then I'll make a cyan stained clay set of covers. I'll do the downstairs so I can get up and down again. Awesome. So now I am about done for this episode. I'm going to do some basic thermal expansion. Now we've updated. I want to get my thermal expansion stuff rocking. I want to be able to make redstone energy cells, not just these hardened ones and the resonant ones. So I want to start working towards that stuff. So next episode was probably going to be that. I'm going to make myself a note so I remember that I said this. But, I'm going to probably do making some resonant ender stuff for next episode, because it's what I want to get on with. So you see all my engines, all my dynamos are just kicked on. We've got power coming in, and we're at 11:52 again, so that's good. We've got 53 going out. So the 53 going out is 30 odd into there, and that must be 12. I think that's it's 12 a tick that goes into that, but that's all going alright. We'll see, I've got quite an empty-ish drum there, 87 out of 256. So how many drums we got in here? Let's have a look. We're back up to 10 fuel. Cool. We was down to 9. I wasn't sure if I was going too slow, but there we go. Cool. Right then, little bit different. I've pretty much got rid of everything railcraft in my base because of when Covert Jaguar changed the boilers. But I do like this stuff. I never really play with it much, and I've always liked it a lot. So I'd like to get into signalling and stuff, and then possibly have an option down here to go. In fact, why am I going? How am I doing that? Let's go down the train. Let me out. Damn you. Let's go down there. What I'd like to do is really is have an option here to either go down again. If I go down again, of course I've got a path to my other base. So I could have another little train line going that way to the base. Anyway, I might do that. I might get made round trying to make it so I've got signals and stuff so I can choose my destination. Right then, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope the episode wasn't too disjointed. It's very late. It's probably going to be tomorrow this comes out now. So well, It should have been out yesterday, is what I mean. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you join me next time. This is all for now on Utopia³. Next time is a monster episode, and I'll show you the aftermath of what happened in the live stream when I died. Before and during the live stream I died 9 times. I have got no power, I can't get up. Right then, cheers, bye.